Galatians chapter 6. People at the projector, give me, I will be giving you lots of scriptures to show us. Verses 7 and 8. Verses 7 and 8. Galatians chapter 6. Is anybody there? Okay, let me read verse 7. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. For he who sows to his flesh will of the flesh reap corruption. But he who sows to the Spirit will of the Spirit reap everlasting life. This is one of the strongest verses of the scriptures that you should know that is to be applied in our lives. It says that you should not think that God, or you could deceive yourself or deceive God. That God is not deceived. God is not mocked. We could do certain things and believe in certain things. But there are principles to get at whatever God has given to us or made for us. That's one of the points where I disagree with these hyper preachers, hyper grace preachers. They just make Christianity so cheap that it's just a question of you don't need to pray, you don't need to fast, you don't need to do this, just believe and everything will come. But you look at them, you discover that it's not so, it doesn't work so. There are principles in life, and this is one of them. Do not be deceived. Don't you think that any kind of seed you like to sow, that you will just get the one you desire? You cannot sow anything and get any other thing from the tree when it matures. That it is the fruit you sow in life that you are going to reap. It's not like, let me use this thing for example. Everything you do in life is a seed. Any life you live today, you are sowing a seed for tomorrow. The life you are living today is as a result of the seed you sowed yesterday. Either the seed of good or seed of bad. The seed of confession, the seed of life that you lived. So, let me take this for example. I am on my journey of life, moving forward towards this place. Now, what I do is that I take this thing as a life that I live today. I throw it in front of me. I will be moving towards it. It can be in 1 week. It can be in 2 weeks. It can be in 3 months. It can be in 3 years. It can happen in 6 years. I will reach where I threw this thing. And when I reach it, I must march on it. If it is thorns, if it is thorns, as I step on it, I will feel the thorns. If it is anything good that will give peace to my body and my legs, as I march on it, I will inherit it. This is life. This is what you are doing in life. So the Bible says, any seed you sow, you will reap it. That is why you should be very careful in whatever you do, in your relationship with God and your relationship with man. Don't you think that you will sow orange and you reap mango? If you sow orange, you reap orange. He says anybody that sows to his flesh will of the flesh reap corruption. But anybody that sows to the spirit, now to his flesh, to the spirit, that is what is going to reap. So what you will want to reap tomorrow. There is nothing that will stop you from reaping it. Give us again there. Job chapter 4, verse 8. Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness, what do? They reap same. Those that is what I have seen. He was talking of what he has seen in life. And that is true. That those that sow iniquity, those that plow wickedness, they reap the same. Don't be wicked in life, because you will reap wickedness. Don't sow iniquity in life, because you will reap the same. Yes, Proverbs 1:31. Proverbs 1:31. Proverbs 1:31. Therefore, shall they eat of the fruit of their own way. Is it the scripture? They shall do what? Eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. Life is like that. Life is just that. Give us Hosea 8:7. And then I will be done with that section. Hosea 8:7. If they plow iniquity, if they sow iniquity, if they plow wickedness, they will reap the same. This is life. And we must be careful as Christians. How can you sow iniquity? How can you plow it? Okay? This is Hosea chapter 8 verse 7. For they have sown the wind, and they shall do what? Reap what? Wild wind. They sow ordinary wind. When it wants to return, bring returns. It returns what? Wild wind. You know that wild wind is stronger than wind. They will reap wild wind. It had no stock. The bond shall yield no meal. If so, be it yield. Even if it yields, the stranger shall swallow it up. That because of what they have sown, they shall reap wild wind. And what they have planted shall not yield. They will reap wild wind even when they are laboring. Their labor shall yield wild wind. And even if their labor bears any fruit, even if their businesses or whatever they are thinking bears any fruit, that stranger shall do what? Take it. Those are principles of life. If you get a maid to serve you, be kind to that maid. If you get a servant to serve you, be kind to that servant. Is anybody hearing me? Don't sow bad seed, because you will reap it. You will reap what you sow today. If you read the book of, I think Job. Yes, in the book of Job. If you are writing down, Job chapter 31, 9 to 11. Job said, if I take my neighbor's wife, let somebody take my wife. If I take my neighbor's wife, if I look at my neighbor's door, laying in wait for his wife or daughter, if I take another person's wife That's not my wife. He said, let another man bow down on my wife. Isn't it what is written there? I'm talking of Job chapter 31. Verses, 9. If my heart have been deceived by a woman, or if I have laid wait at my neighbor's door, go on, verse 10. Then let my wife grieve for another, and let another bow down upon her. You know what that means? Because what I sow will definitely return. Don't mess up another man's wife. Because somebody will mess your wife. Don't mess up another person's daughter. Because somebody will mess up your daughter. You'll be asking, why is this daughter, why is my daughter doing this thing? Be very careful, because the life you live is a seed. Whatever you do today is a seed that you are sowing. Don't go to the market and sell your garri with the back of the cup. If you do that, you will buy things with the back of the cup, but you will sow it as a wind. When it will return, it will be wild wind. I hope somebody is hearing that. If you sow wickedness, if you plow iniquity, you will reap it. The Bible says, whatever a man sows, that he shall also reap. Don't think you are clever. Don't be clever. Boy, don't rob your master. Don't steal your master's money. If you do, somebody will steal your money. It says that even if what you do begins to progress, that strangers shall do what? Strangers shall have it. Yeah, take it. Thieves shall take it from you. Robbers will take it where you don't know. You begin to ask, why is this? What is happening? I think I prayed enough. I think I paid my tithe. I think I did that. But there is something you are paying for. Something you did, something you sowed as a seed. That is why you must be careful. Because your today determines your tomorrow. Is anybody hearing that? So take that point. Another point. Don't deny a laborer's wages. Give us James chapter 5 verse 4. Don't eat the money. Deny a laborer that works for you. You deny him or her his wages, his money, his pay. Don't. He shall speak against you. Somebody worked for you. Somebody labored for you. You seize the money. Or you pay half and refuse to pay the rest. Yes? That is James chapter 5 verse 4. Behold, the hire of the laborers who has lived down your field. Which translation is it, King James? Okay. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have lived down your fields, which is of what? Behold, the hire of the laborer who have lived down your field, which is of you, came back by fraud, cries that the labor and the wages of the person that worked for you, which you have kept back by fraud, which you seized, you don't want to pay. It does what? It does what? Repeat after me. Respond. It does what? It cries. Just like God said to what do you call him? Esau. He said, the blood of your brother that you shed is doing what? He said to Cain, the blood of your brother you shed does what? Cries. It cries out. And the cry of the harvesters has reached the ears of the Lord of hosts. And when he talks to you about the Lord of hosts, are you hearing me? Lord of hosts means the captain of the army. God now presents himself as a warrior. That is the Lord of hosts. Don't seize any money from your laborers. People that work for you. Either you employ them and they are working for you. Make sure you pay them. You are building, for example, and you get laborers. They work for you. Instead of you to pay them, you start talking rubbish. The sand, they carry cement. Cement carries sand. Why it is and that? Because of it. And because of it, you eat that money. Later, you will see that, look, the pay that you withheld from the workers who reaped your field cries out. And the cry and the outcry of the harvesters has reached the ears of the Lord of hosts. Don't allow anybody to go home crying for you. I hope somebody is following me. Forget that is not forget anyway. We can talk of faith. We can motivate. We can just speak life. Yet, but something could still fight against you. This cry, the person that's supposed to, after working for you, have something to feed with, have some money to feed his family with, but you just leave him without paying him. And so he goes home crying. His children are crying. Not that he didn't work. He worked, but you seized his money. That cry shall reach Jehovah. I hope somebody is following me. Okay, give us Jeremiah 22:13 on that. Be fast. Jeremiah 22:13. After that, you give us, are we there? Woe to the one who builds his palace through unrighteousness, his upper rooms through injustice, who makes his fellow man serve without pay, and will not give him his what? Wages. Supply me this, supply me that. He supplied, he worked, and you didn't pay. The Bible says, woe to him that makes his fellow man to serve without pay, and will not give him his what? Wages. A servant came from the village. You brought him. He served you 1 year, 5 years, 6 years to settle him. You begin to talk what is not written in the word or in the book. You tell him to go home and wait for you. You will come and see their people. Why? What is the problem? That somebody said that he sent his boy, the boy that has served him for 7 years, to buy him stockings. So he gave him money. Stockings was then about, I think stockings was about 20 or 30 naira. So he gave him to buy for him. And he bought for him. And then later, he saw that kind of stocking with the boy, that is servant. It is wrong for you to just do who is who with your master. But then the boy just went and took, either it was from his money or it was from whatever, wherever, 20 naira or 30 naira, as and then the stockings was. And he bought the same type of stockings with his master. And so the master saw it and said, okay, so we are now in war. We are now wearing the same kind of stockings. And not only that, and you take my money to buy the same stocking that I wear. Go home and wait for me. From Lagos back to the east. Wait for me. I will come and see your people. The boy waited 1 month. He waited 2 months. Waited 3 months. They were calling him. And he said, I will come. Don't just stay there. I will come. You are wasting that boy. You want to waste his talent. You want to waste his future. The boy has done what is not good, yes. But because of 20 naira or 30 naira, you wasted his 7 years. Will he now go back to begin to serve another person? And finally, when you got home, it was, he is stealing my money. He took money. He wore stockings. He did this and this. And you left. Say, when I get money, I will give you. That boy don't go like that, empty-handed. Give me Leviticus 19:13. Leviticus 19:13. Are you there? You must not oppress your neighbor or rob him. The wages due a hired hand must not remain with you until morning. The wages due to a hired hand. Instead of you not to pay him complete, pay him over. It must not remain with you because it will be in your pocket crying. And the person will be in his house crying. His children will be crying and God will hear it. Another point. Point 3. Don't speak evil of dignitaries. Be careful about what you say of dignitaries. 2 Peter 2:10. 2 Peter 2:10. Don't speak evil of dignitaries, of leaders, of rulers. Don't speak evil of great people. Especially those who follow the polluting desires of the flesh and despise authorities. They do what? They despise authorities. Bold, arrogant people. No, give me King James. Give me King James. Thank you. But chiefly, them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness, and despise government, presumptuous are they, self-willed. They are not afraid to speak evil of what? Go on. Whereas angels, whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, bring not railing accusation against them before the Lord. Bring Jude so that it will agree with it at the same time. Bring Jude, verses 8 and 9. They despise authority. They speak evil of dignitaries. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignitaries. If you tell them they hate you, they hate you in those they will speak evil against. They will hate you on those they are going to despise. They will hate you on those they will not listen to the take the authorities. Jude 8 and 9. Yes, Jude. And the Lord said unto Satan, is this Job? Jude. Jude. Have you now gone to Jude? Okay, Jude. Likewise also, these filthy dreamers defile the flesh, despise dominion, and speak evil of who? Dignitaries. Go on. Yet Michael the archangel, when contending with the devil, he disputed about the body of Moses, does not bring against him a railing accusation, but said, the Lord rebuke you. Peter said that even angels that we are more and stronger in might did not bring railing accusations against them, against dignitaries, against rulers of your people. If you read it in Acts chapter 23, 1 to 5 or 1 to 6, they were accusing Paul. And that was accusing him falsely. And Paul was to defend himself. When he said, all I do is in a clear conscience. Okay? And Paul, earnestly beholding the council, said, men and brethren, I have lived in a good conscience before God until this day go on. And the high priest, Ananias, commanded them that stood by him to smite him on the mouth. Yes? Then said Paul unto him, God shall smite thee, thou whited wall. For sittest thou to judge me after the law, and commandest me to be smitten contrary to the law? Yes. And then that stood by said, revilest thou God's high priest? Go on. Then Paul said, then said Paul, I will not, I don't know, brethren, that he was the high priest. For it is written, thou shalt not speak evil of the ruler of your people. I hope we are following. The Bible calls them filthy dreamers. That they are filthy dreamers. They are not afraid to speak evil against authorities, against dignitaries. They don't take authorities at all. They don't accept it. They speak against anybody. They can speak against their pastor. They can speak against their father. They can speak against the government. The Bible says they resist dominion. They resist government. And we pray, we fast. We run around for deliverance when we cause the thing that we are suffering. The seed we sow today stands and speaks against us the next day. They don't fear. They have no... Look, the man from Asaba, he said, who knows what was happening? What happened in the life of the lady? And a member of his church now came and began to tell him of what she said against him. Who knows how it has started working against her? And who knows who made him to realize that it was this evil I've been speaking against this my bishop. And he came. After saying all she said, the bishop said, she said, come over to the side of his seat and knelt down. She knelt down. And he raised his hand to pray. God said, no. She will talk again. She will do what? Talk again. You cannot cure him. She will talk again. They speak evil of dignitaries. They cause harm to their tomorrow. And they say God does not answer again. They resist authority and dominion. They resist government. Paul said, it is written in the law. You should... Look at, Paul was being accused falsely. What has Paul done there that warrant his being slapped or beaten? That he says, all I do is in a clear conscience towards God and man. He says, slap him. That judge, that high priest was in error. He was in error to judge Paul and to say smite him against the law. He was in error. But though he was in error, Paul couldn't have said what he said. Because it's not for you to judge another man's servant. That is what the Bible says. But you destroy yourself and destroy your future. You destroy your destiny. What you say somewhere in the Bible says, don't speak against the ruler of people, even in your closest. Because that the best of the air, I think Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, that the best of the air may carry it out. May hear it and carry it, even if you are under your bed. He said, don't even think against him in your heart. Buhari did this, Buhari did that. Be careful. Every king is given by God, either to punish the people or to bless the people. So be careful. Every king, according to Romans chapter 13, is given by God. The king is given to punish the people or to be a blessing to the people. Be careful. Some people are not careful to go to their closest to talk against their pastor. To talk against their pastor. Some even form a clique. They form a group of who talks more and worst. It takes you, the only way to revise it is for you to go to the man and confess. And he prays for you and release you. It's for you to call that man you are holding his money and pay him that money. That laborer, and you pay him that money. He will now release you in his heart. Let me take one or two more. Don't speak evil of dignitaries. Obey your rulers. According to Habakkuk chapter 13, 7 and 17. But leave that. Another one is pay your vows. The pastor quoted it out here when he came out. If you go to Ecclesiastes, give us Ecclesiastes. Pay your vows. Any vow you made with your mouth. Any vow you made with your mouth. Pay your vows. Don't make vows rashly. That you know you will not pay. Or that you could not pay. Ecclesiastes chapter 5. Praise the Lord. Okay? Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools. For they consider not that they do evil. Go on. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thy heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore, let thy words be few. Go on. For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by multitude of words. Yes? When thou vowest a vow unto God, differ not to pay it, for he has no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. Go on. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow than that thou shouldest vow and not pay. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin. Neither say thou before the angel that it was an error. Wherefore should God be angry at thy voice and destroy the works of your hand? Vow. Mouth. I will do you this. I will give you this. I promise you that. I will marry you. I will marry you. You tell 3 persons, 3 girls, I will marry you. And you never marry any. You tell 2, 3 boys, yes, I agree. But your eye is on somebody else. So that if the person did not play game, he did not play ball, so that I can now know, so that I will not leave you to go and I lose him too. So I will hold on to you while I'm looking at what I'm looking at. You may vow in the church, you don't pay. You may vow to your father, to your mother, to your whoever, and you don't pay. It says, don't let your mouth, your own voice, and make God angry, that God will stand against the works of your hand. If you are writing down, write the book of Psalms 50:14. It says you should pay your vows It's only when you pay your vows that God will hear you. Number 5, care for your old parents at home. Take care of your old parents at home. If you have old parents at home, the much you can, always give them something. Send them something. Your old parents at home, let them pray for you. Even when you don't have, and you have only transport money, reach home, let them see you. Buy only bread. Their heart will be praying for you so that you will get to bring to them. Than that you just leave them. They are suffering. People, parents that have brought up children like you. You say, well, they didn't care for me. They didn't train me in university. Did their father train them in university? First Timothy 5:8. 1 Timothy 5:8 says that whoever does not take care of those of his household is worse than what? An infidel. Some don't even take care of their immediate family. You see fools, sorry, using the word fools on the pulpit. But Paul at a time called the Galatians what? Fools. You are taking care of others, not care of your own very family. You take care of, when you get, you send to your cousin, your uncle, your nephew, and your immediate family will be suffering. You train your cousin, uncle, your nephew, and you train them. Your own immediate children will be suffering. Your wife will be suffering. Your wife cannot yet in Bamba. Or even when you come up, if you just fold your arms. Put your arms in your lap. Your wife will be dancing and be beating the drum. The Bible says he's worse than who? Who is an infidel? And you want to make it. You want to do fasting. You want to go to deliverance. You don't know what is causing you this. And don't know what is causing you that. If you read the book of Mark chapter 7. If you read it in Mark chapter 7, read from 10 to 13. Jesus was cursing the Pharisees. He said to them that you are hypocrites. That is written that you should take care of your parents. But you say that it doesn't matter. Give it to us. Okay. For Moses said, honor thy father and thy mother. And whoso curseth father or mother, let him die the death. Go on. But you say, referring to the Pharisees, you say, if a man shall say to his father or mother, it is a covenant. That is just ordinary gift. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. That is to say a gift. Covenant is a gift. By whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me, he shall be free. And you suffer him no more to do oath for his father or his mother, making the word of God of none effect through your tradition, which you have delivered, and many such like things that you do. that it is written, honor your father, honor your mother. Take care of your father, take care of your mother. Take care of them. And don't speak evil of your father, don't speak evil of your mother. What I feel everywhere these days is when somebody goes to one prayer or somewhere, he just returns. He said, I was told, now my mama be my trouble. My mama is witch. And my mama, they kill me. And my mama, they kill all my children. And my mama. It is written that you should speak no evil against your father, against your mother, and you take care of them, you honor them with what you have. But they taught you, and that's what you believe, that anything you give to your father or your mother is a gift. If you like, it's a korban, it's a gift. So they are just taking it like that. Your mother, supposing my mama is still alive, I remember how my mama suffered for me. Suffered for us. Yes, she did not train me in university. She did not even train me in secondary school. My father did not train me in secondary school. They didn't. Even the primary school, I remember it was much of my effort, primary school. Because we were going to get somebody, beg somebody to buy a fowl for us. And then we'll keep the fowl. The fowl will be growing. We'll be taking care of it. It will be growing. When the fowl produces, we share it into 3. The person will take 2 parts. We will take 1. I will begin to rear it. We begin to, until when it grows, sometimes it becomes so copper. What do you call a copper? Hen? Huh? Becomes so copper. By the time they will drive us from school, you lay hands on it and sell. Or in the evening or morning, you go out into the bush and gather what? Palm kernel. So, when I now grow and I can now lay hands on something, I will call my mama a witch. Call my papa a witch, a wizard. I hear somebody say that no combo from his hand will enter his mama hand again. I have heard it. Let me take another. Avoid murmuring and grumbling. Either in the church or in the family. Avoid it. Murmuring and grumbling. James 5:9. Give it to us. James 5:9. Grudge not one against another, brethren, lest you be condemned. Lest you be what? Condemned. Behold, the judge stands before the door. 10. The judge to judge you, to judge your actions, to judge your dispositions, to judge your relationship with another, is standing at the door. Take, my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience. Be patient. That's what he's teaching. Behold, we count the happy who endure, who have heard of the patience of Job and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and tender in mercy. Anything that happens, be what? Patient. That is taken from the prophets before us. Be patient. Sometimes you see them talking on what they don't know, what they don't understand. They put their mouth and talk. They grumble, they murmur. In the church, they grumble, they murmur. They grumble against the pastor, against the bishop. They murmur. They grumble in the home. Children grumble against their parents. Be careful and be patient. It said, lest you be condemned. That is verse 9. These things speak against you. These things stand against you. These things resist you. These things form a limit that you hardly cross. Brethren, don't commit sacrilege. Don't do what? Romans 2:22. Romans 2:22. Don't commit sacrilege. Is it there? Thou that sayest a man should not commit adultery. Do you commit adultery? Thou that abhorrest idols, does thou commit sacrilege? What is sacrilege? New King James translates it as robbing the temple. Is it New King James? Is anybody having New King James? Robbing the temple. Stealing anything from the temple. Don't take anything from the house of God that you are not asked to take and that you have no right to take. Don't take any of these chairs and make it your own at home. Don't take it. Don't take the broom. Broom, why just a toilet as you never. Don't take broom. Don't carry, what do they call it? Even a hajj, disinfectant. Hajj a toilet. When it will speak against you, you are robbing the temple. If you are in any way close to where church money is being counted, where church money is being handled, be very, very careful. Be extra what? Careful. Don't take anything that the angel of the church did not ask you to take. If you need anything, go to him. Say, I need this thing. Can you release it from me? Don't take nothing from the temple, from the house of God. If you do, that thing will speak against you. That thing will constitute. And finally, brethren, I hope I've not taken you too long. Bro, if somebody do good to you, don't pay him back with evil. So, if somebody does good or do good to you, bro, don't turn it tomorrow to pay him with evil. If you do, I've said it in this church over and over again, that has always been, if they call it a gift or star, or how did they put it? Or do they call it destiny? It has been part of mine. And I'm bearing it without grudges, without pains. I am bearing it as a cross. But I look at them. I watch them. Most times I don't talk. Most times I leave the person to go his way. But at the end, don't you ever pay back evil for good. If you do, the Bible says that evil shall not depart from his house. Have you read it in the Bible? Have you read it in the Bible? That anybody that pays good, evil for good, evil shall not depart from your house. So the scripture says. Not only paying evil for good, but you are in agreement and supportive of one that pays evil for good. You will share it. We share from it. It says in the book of Galatians, not only those that commit sin, but those that have delight, that have pleasure in them that commit sin. Somebody paid you good, showed you favor, showed you mercy, God gave you good things, and you turn around to buy that person. Evil will not depart from your house. And not me, it's not cause, but I'm just quoting the scriptures. Most times I keep quiet. Most times I sit down and begin to wonder. Ebai bido, ebai neje, ebai jegide, ebai jeruwe ruotua. And when this good turn to evil, I ask myself, and I keep quiet. They say that the hawk or kite that came down to carry, what do you call it? Obogu, dog. Carry dog. And the mother dog did not make any noise. The mother dog was just looking at. When a fly go, he told himself, this one that I carried the child and he didn't talk, he say anything. There must be something to it. Let me return it. And never carry their child again, the picking again. But he went to carry a little chicken. And when he carried a little chicken, the mother did, he said, this one, the thing where you go do, don't finish. You not go do anything way past the one he has done. So this one, na meat, he carry and go eat. Be careful. Because of going to where you will see deliverance tomorrow, and the thing is still boomeranging. Where you will fast and faint. They fast and go to just members shop. By the time they are entering members shop, the thing you will hear is Igbo. Fasting. You will hear some will just faint there, some will faint here, some will faint the other place. Then we faint in their house where they are doing fasting for deliverance. But sometimes it is good that somebody has paid you, that has shown you that you paid evil for, that you are paying for. The Bible says, be careful, be not deceived. God is not mocked. Every seed you sow, that seed you shall reap. Whether it is good seed, you shall reap good things. Whether it is bad seed, you shall reap bad things. This is life. Shall we stand?